Hey, I'm Ray Latif with BevNET. I'm here with John Craven. We're at the 2016 Natural Products Expo West show here in Anaheim, California. And we're going to be talking about the almond milk category, or the nut milk category as a whole, being led by almond milk. Almond milk is a huge and fast-growing category, and we're seeing a ton of different plays, ranging from conglomerates like Blue Diamond and WhiteWave to upstarts that are launching here at the show.
Yeah, and I mean, it's interesting at this point. You've got this sort of segmentation of these really big brands, as you said, and then, brands like Califia, which, is a big brand in its own right, who are, sort of going at different parts of the market. Califia being sort of, an upscale offering, but then they're also being, these cold-pressed HPP type products that are really trying to be at the high end. So, that's kind of where the products are falling at the show here. Yeah,
it's interesting to see Califia really trying to be as nimble as possible and innovating with flavors and introducing new SKUs here at the show. At the same time, you're seeing these some of these HPP brands that you referred to, trying to stay nimble by not HPPing anymore. Citing safety concerns, a lot of them are moving to pasteurization, something we heard Joyce Longfield talk about. She's been advising some of these brands to just stick with whatever they're doing in terms of flavor innovation and leave the HPP behind, saying it's a little bit too risky.
Yeah, and it's interesting, just from talking to some of these companies, I mean, New Barn being another one that is out there with a pasteurized product, and, just sort of talking about the food safety as well as, and this might be more important, the fact that, there isn't really a huge flavor benefit to HPP in a lot of cases. So I think, when you pair that with risks of food safety, it's sort of like, I think, no surprise that a lot of these brands are starting to shift away from it.
Right.
I guess in addition to that pop and bottle brand, there was the
Three Trees.
Three Trees. I mean, I think some of the other ones were kind of hinting at getting away from HPP. So, and then on the other hand, you have,
Malk.
brands like, Malk, Numu that are, still going at it with HPP.
Yeah, sticking by their guns for sure. Beyond almond milk, we're seeing some pretty interesting plays with pistachios, two brands we saw at the show, including Nut Raw's 100% raw pistachio milk. We also saw Numu introduce a couple of new pistachio products.
Yeah, and I think, we also saw cashew milk, pecan milk. I mean, it's interesting just that, companies are trying to figure out other products that both have, a good taste profile as well as, some nutritional benefit. So I think that's, it was interesting talking to the Nut Raw guys, just about how, touting pistachios is basically the best nut. And, you kind of hear similar stories from other brands, but, I think at this point we're well beyond just those sort of old school bricks of almond milk, right? And clearly, all of these entrepreneurs are seeing a big opportunity for it. Especially as non-dairy or dairy alternatives become, more and more popular. Yeah,
I mean, and it looks like consumers are sort of taking to it. I mean, it's not just some of these smaller brands that are innovating with cashew, and you're seeing Silk come out with a cashew product. Forward just had one for a while, and it seems like they're doing pretty well with their line.
Yeah, and I think that's something that, if you look at a brand like Forager, I mean, obviously they're doing it in a bunch of different ways, in smoothies, stuff with probiotics. They also just have it, like, literally as, more of a thing that you pour on your cereal. So I think we're still at a point where a lot of these companies are just trying to figure out, what the right places are, to play. And, I also find it interesting that you've got, some brands that are focused on, multi-serve, like a New Barn.
Right.
And then you have other products that are, just all single serve, going for this sort of like immediate consumption. And then, Califia's got both.
Right.
So it's kind of like, we're just at a point where there's a lot of innovation happening. Again, brands are seeing a lot of opportunity, and, we're just trying to, I guess, figure out what sticks, right?
Well, a lot of it seems to be sticking because consumers seem to be buying a lot of it, and I guess it's just a matter of getting more distribution and getting it into more people's mouths, really.
Definitely, and I think, figuring out just what, the right story is for it. Is it protein? Is it, non-dairy? Is it just good taste?
Yeah.
So I think, again, it's just really nice to see all these different products kind of going at it different ways.
Yeah, it'd be cool to keep an eye on that category for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah. That's all we have for nut milks here at Natural Products Expo West, but please stay tuned for much more coverage from the show.